Hello everyone, and welcome to Let's Play Super Metroid. I've been waiting to do this one for a while. Well, first off, I made to make sure this one got the proper... Yes, let's hit the wrong button first, and I wanted to make sure this one got the proper treatment with 100% and such. There's that, and the fact that recording this, for some reason, gave me some trouble. Anyway, we got some subtitles here. I'm going to leave German on, though you're not going to see many of them. And let's do some quick controller customizations and get a intro cutscene started. Yay.
The last Metroid is in captivity. The galaxy is at peace.
I first battled the Metroids on planet Zebes. It was there that I foiled the plans of the space pirate leader Mother Brain to use the creatures to attack galactic civilization. I next fought the Metroids on their homeworld, SR-388. I completely eradicated them, except for a larva which, after hatching, followed me like a confused child. I personally delivered it to the Galactic Research Station at Ceres so scientists could study its energy-producing capabilities. The scientists' findings were astounding. They discovered the powers of the Metroids might be harnessed for the good of civilization. Satisfied that all was well, I left the station to seek a new bounty to hunt. But I had barely gone beyond this asteroid belt when I picked up a distress signal. Ceres Station was under attack. Space Colony. Well, that was an intro cutscene. Though admittedly, my first time playing through the game, that actual voiceover did kind of blow my mind, because that was on a Super Nintendo cartridge. Keep in mind, for cartridges, voice recordings are huge. Anyway, we got our little intro section here at the Ceres Station. Nothing too big. I'll get more into the way things work once we actually reach the main part of the game. Oh, hey, dead people. There's actually a ROM hack called Metroid Omega Boss Battles, where he downright puts those all over that room, like, even on the ceiling, which is hilarious. Hey, Squidgee! How you doing, guy? Ah, still adorable as usual, I see. Yeah, not much we can do in here, huh? Well, it's a thing. What the... Hey, Ridley! You're alive somehow, even though you exploded in the first game and Zero Mission. There's two ways you can go about this little mini-fight. You can either shoot him 100 times and he'll drop the Metroid Castle, but then immediately pick it back up. Or you can take the faster way, which is just to reduce your HP to below 30. I think almost every single one of his attacks does 5 damage, though, so yeah. I think the fire does a bit more, though. But upon doing that, he flies up and out. By the way, Melee references this scene. Or at least its intro cutscene does. Emergency! Self-destruct sequence activated. Evacuate colony immediately. Already? Really? We just started the game, people! So now we got a minute to explode this place before it blows up. Yes, escape this place before it blows up. There we go. There's actually another ROM hack out there by the name of Metroid Hard Edition, I believe, that cuts this time in half. In fact, I think it cuts all the timers in half. It's actually kind of challenging, because this is actually a bit of a gratuitous amount of time. Even on my first playthrough, I made it through with 22 seconds remaining, I think. And also here, we get some Mode 7! And once you reach the elevator, you're good. Planet Zebes. And we return to the planet it all started. Welcome back to Zebes, ladies and gents. Though, as you can see, things have changed a bit to those who have played Metroid 1. Though, if you played Zero Mission, they actually added a lot of areas from this game to it. As usual to Metroid, you have to open the doors to progress onwards, so make sure you do that, and you have to do that by shooting them. Unique to Super Metroid, actually, there's actually a run button, which is kind of not noticeable to new players because she's already in a running animation. Pretty much just hold the A button and you will run faster, though I did customize the controls as you saw in the beginning. Also new to Super Metroid, you can finally shoot diagonally and down. Thank you! And there's also a wall jump that you've seen me do in the older games too. The way that works is that you jump towards the wall, and the moment you touch the wall, press the opposite direction on the D-pad and then jump, and she will jump away. It's a bit easier to do in this game than it is in Fusion and Zero Mission even, because the gravity in this game is actually really weird. Like, really floaty weird. Not that I mind it, but it's weird, because I play Zero Mission a lot. And if Samus is visible right now, that's because the elevator sprite flickers. Hey, this looks familiar. I wonder if it's still... Hey, yeah! First item of the game is the morphing ball. Okay, that's new. Like in the other Metroid games, press down twice, and she'll become a ball that'll fill in one space corridors. What the... a surveillance camera? And now we're finally back to our old gang in Zebes. Gang. That is the wrong word, but I don't care. I'm doing that a lot recently. What the hell? Anyway, shoot down here, and you can come down to this door, which is where we get our next item, right off the bat, actually. Missiles! Select the missile icon on the top screen with either select or X in my case, and press the attack button to fire them. This is the last Metroid game to have missile doors need... let me restart the sentence here. This is the last Metroid game where you need 5 missiles to open a missile door. From Prime onwards, which is the next game in the series that had missile doors, it only took 1. Thank you! This is also, as far as I'm aware, the last Metroid game, if not the only Metroid game, where they play the little iconic sound effects there for every item pickup. So for every pickup in the game, you're gonna hear that da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And to the point where you might hear it 2 or 3 times a room later on, so get used to that. I wonder how much of a 100% speedrun that actually takes up. Actually, speedrunning-wise, this is actually a really fun game to watch, because this is one of the few games with speedrunning they have it down to frames, not seconds. So that's kinda crazy. Alrighty, let's head backwards, because there's nothing more we can do down there. But that surveillance camera was not just cosmetic. The enemies from here on will spawn. Meet the first appearance in the series of the Space Pirates. Yeah, those guys that we... Well, actually, no, we saw them in Zero Mission, but this was the first time they appeared overall. They were mentioned in the manual for Prime 1, Metroid 1 and 2, but they were never actually seen. And they are weak. Well, these versions of them. We'll be seeing multiple versions of them throughout the game. And you're seeing me do the wall jump quite a bit. Admittedly, I'm using a bit of a different controller for this one because I'm actually using my PS3 controller because there's a certain trick I do later in this video that I cannot for the life of me do with my normal controller. I can do it with the classic controller, I can do it with my Super Nintendo controller, but the one I use for the recording, not so much. This is this is also the only Metroid game where Samus's knockback can kind of annoy me because this vertical climbing section, which I'm gonna do a total of 3 times, mind you, really gets annoying. Anyway, now we're finally out of that. We'll be going back down there later in the part, though, so keep that place, well, just be prepared to be going back down there. If you need to grind health, I think they're called Zoomers or the Beamers, I don't recall. It's been a while since I looked at the Prime logs. Drop health fairly often, in my experience. Now, try as you might, you won't be able to progress onwards until you go backwards a bit, actually. Because now that we have the Morphball, we can go in here. And you can go into this room. Get your missiles out, because there's a missile door at the end of it, and if you need any missiles or health, I recommend using those little enemies there. Which I shall do right now, because I like having 10 missiles for this next part. And now we can head on. And our next item is the Morph Ball Bombs. Turn into Simon Belmont and have him turn into a peace sign and then set it with the Y button. Yeah, it's the same as the other Metroid games. Anyway, let's get out of here. What the... you actually can make it out of that door if you know just the right way to do it, but I've only done it once. And it's here we see that this is not a regular Chojo statue. This is a Torizo. First boss of the game, and he only has one attack, and that is to swipe his claws at you. And if you just spam missiles with good timing... Well, actually, no, he also has a Tiger Slash. He goes down really easily. But don't worry, other bosses will take us a bit longer later on. Now, coming up here, you can actually escape the way we came into this area through that little morph ball tunnel. It's actually a trick called the Alcatraz, I believe. Pretty much just wall jump and then turn to a morph ball to get into there. I've only done it once, and it's annoying to perfect. Oh boy. Now, the rate of progression in the storyline, or whatever kind of storyline a Metroid game can have, is to the left up there, but there's a couple things I want to do back down here first. Starting off, you can go into this room now, and you could have come here the moment you got Morph Balls, but you wouldn't be able to progress here without the bombs. So, you're gonna want that. And in here, what else did we get this early in the game but another missile tank? There are a maximum of 230, if I recall correctly. So, you got a lot to do. And now I'm actually going to cut back to the area which I actually forgot to mention is the area from Torian of the first game that was blown up. This area right here, to be specific. Yeah, I forgot to mention this is Torian from the first game. And actually bomb open this area. This took me a while to find on my first playthrough. And down here we get another missile. And now I'm going to cut forward another couple of rooms back down to the original Bryn Star. So we can get another item, namely a couple rooms past it, in here. While there are enemies in here now, there's another item we can get using a bomb jump, which those who played the Prime games are familiar with that kind of technique, which is the first energy tank. We need to bomb jump up there effectively, and that always takes me a while, no matter what I do. So I just cut to the point where it actually worked. That took me about 2 minutes, so, yeah. And now we're heading back up here because this is where the final progression is for the part. Now that we have bombs, we can open up this little area. And run down here. I am that kind of player that'll hold down the run button constantly, by the way. It's also here we get our next energy tank, which I forgot to mention. It increases your life by 100, hence the top left. There are a maximum of, I think, 18, or is it 20? It's one of the two. Or is it... I don't remember, it's been forever. It's also here we get green space pirates, who take a bit more muscle to kill, aka a missile to the face. And I'm actually going to open up this missile door now, which will save me a bit of time later. So yeah. You'll find out why in, like, either the last or the second to last part, I'm not sure which. Oh boy. And it's here where you have our first elevator. But with that, I'm going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 2 we'll be checking out what lies beyond this elevator. See you guys then.